For me, the highlight of the season, certainly for the fall, is going to be the SPCO's presentation of St. Matthew Passion with conductor Paul McCreesh and the Gabriele Consort. It's only the second time that we're doing Bach's St. Matthew Passion, his magnum opus. It's such a huge work and so difficult to perform in many ways. But we feel like in choosing this way to present it with one of the real great Bach interpreters of all time, Paul McCreesh, and with his carefully selected singers from the Gabriele Consort. There's only one singer on a part, both for the choruses and of course for the arias and recitatives. And it creates a completely different experience than, I think, from what people have heard.
He's taken us to the cutting edge of where performance of the St. Matthew Passion goes now, and that is with reduced singers. We're just doing one and a part, 8 wonderful singers, all of whom have worked with Paul before, all of whom have done the St. Matthew Passion. And so we're really plugging into what's going on in the music world worldwide by doing this performance.
It's been one of the great musicological discussions really of the last 25 years, and it seems more and more clear from the performance material which we have to this day from Bach's own performances, that surprising as it may seem, he didn't actually use a choir, and he only used 8 solo voices, 4 in each choir. And these singers combined to form what we think of as the choir for the choruses, as well as singing all the solo parts. And that, of course, is quite a tall order, but I've done this many times in Europe with my own ensemble, the Gabriele Consort and Players, as have indeed other ensembles, both in the US and also in Europe. And I think increasingly, if somewhat reluctantly, people are beginning to accept that there is a lot of musical potential in this way of working.
It really makes it completely intimate, and it brings you back to the original experience, I think, of hearing this piece in the Church of St. Thomas back in Leipzig in 1727. And I think what that creates is a more immediate connection for the audience, and certainly for the players as we get to know this piece, to what Bach was trying to communicate with this work, a really almost cathartic experience with these universal themes.
It takes a lot of rehearsals to prepare a giant work like the St. Matthew Passion. We start off with rehearsing just the soloists and the continuo parts, that is the lower instruments, the bass line, the harpsichord, and then we gradually add the whole orchestra. And it's a wonderful process. Paul McCreesh brings a wonderful combination of energy and knowledge and just having a great time and being able to develop a wonderful rapport with all the performers, musicians, both singers and instrumentalists.
It's also very important they're the sort of musicians, that singers that need to integrate with the players. It's not like performing a great Puccini aria where there's you as the singer and the backing orchestra behind. There's a real connection, a real polarity between the voices and the instruments. If we think, for example, many of the great arias in this piece are written just for maybe 2 wind instruments and the bass line and the singer. So really it's very, very close to chamber music. And of course that's the sort of repertoire which instinctively a great chamber orchestra like the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra is very naturally drawn to.
It's something that is deeply exciting to me. It's been a focal point of the season for us, and we're delighted to bring it to St. Paul and Twin Cities.